I'm going to do a transmission fluid flush or fluid exchange on this Toyota Rav4. So taking off the splash shield, 10 millimeter head bolts, and the little plastic plugs that hold that in place with a trim removal tool. Going to start out by taking out the drain plug on the transmission pan and dumping the dirty fluid out of there just into a catch pan. Take out that plug with a 10 millimeter hex bit socket. And then while I'm underneath here, go ahead and put the drain plug back in, and then I'm going to identify the transmission return line, and that's going to serve as the line that pumps the waste fluid into a waste oil bucket while I'm putting in fresh fluid through the dipstick up on top. On this vehicle, it's the easiest one to get at, which is nice, coming out of the transmission just in front of the pan. And then any hose you have that will fit over or inside of that line that basically will act as an extension to that hose to get it down into a waste bucket. And then I'm going to verify I got the right line by starting it and running it for just a second to make sure it's pumping into this bucket and not pumping out onto the floor. Before I do that, I'm going to replenish the fluid that I dumped out of the pan with clean fluid. I'm using a Valvoline full synthetic, which is a Toyota WS equivalent fluid. Otherwise, go buy Toyota WS fluid. Putting in 3 or 4 quarts, maybe a little bit more, because it'll pump it out faster than you can put it in. And then we started it up. I'm inside cycling it through the gears a little bit. You can see the engine shift a little bit on the motor mounts, while my dad is adding fluid to the transmission. And then after I did that, I just got out and let it do its thing. He's adding fluid and it's pumping it out, and we'll wait until the fluid's coming out as clean in the bucket as it is going in through the dipstick, and it is now. So we turned off the vehicle. I'm going to reconnect the return line here, put the hose clamp back on, and then I'm going to do a basic check of the level before I run it and check the fluid with the engine running. It's not really a big deal if you check it with it's running, but here I knew already that I was way high, so I went underneath and drained a little bit out, which is a nice thing about these Toyotas having a drain plug on the transmission pan. So I dumped some fluid out, actually took too much out, so ended up having to add some more, but I would preferred that over having to go back under and dump some more out if I didn't dump enough out. So well ventilated area, the vehicle's running, pulling out the dipstick, cleaning it off, putting it back in, and now I want to look for the dry spot where the fluid in the pan is not getting all the way up on the stick, and I was a little low, so adding a little bit more fluid. Again, vehicle's running, and then I'll do a recheck, and now my fluid's come up a little bit. It's a little above the cold minimum range, and not to the hot maximum range, so I actually went in a little bit later, didn't have video of that, but I added a little bit more fluid just for my temperature where I thought I'd like it at. And then putting in 8 and 10 millimeter body clips if you broke any of the ones coming out, and then putting in these 10 millimeter head bolts and getting the splash shield back in place. And this vehicle now has replenished fluid, and I hope you found that useful, and you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.